Hey guys, another new deck to have a look at. We've got the Guardian Angel Messages Toro by Raleigh Valentine. I love his many of his cards and the work he does, trying to innovate, always looking at new ways of guidance and divination. So in this one, it's one of his new releases this year. I think it will be out in the next 2 weeks or so around the world. But I've had it now for at least a good 4 days or so, and I love it. I love the card. I love what he's done. I prefer it a lot more to the last one. So if we look at it, this is what the box looked like, and I have to say the box is it's massive. It looks huge, but then when I compared it to the old one is actually much bigger. So if you didn't like the box, then previously. This one's somewhat a little better. The quality though is stunning of the boxes. Two-piece hard shell box, so your cards are very, very protective. When you open the box up itself, you'll have the guidebook, and then there's this lovely sort of purple color theme design inside of the box. You'll also find the same on the second box as well, which I'll show you. You've got, like I said, the booklet. There isn't much room to take the cards out in the book, so as you could see, I had to pretty much turn it upside down. And as you could see, just like on the old deck, it takes a lot of space, that booklet, and you could see that is slight movement, reef for the cards, but not much. The book, as you could see, is very chunky. There is a lot of information. So again, if you had the last tour deck that he did, it's pretty much similar. So we'll cover the book near the end of the video. It's not really easy to take the cards out of the box. You'll see here again, which is why I said it's fairly tight. So I had to turn it upside down. So as you could see here, both boxes, it's got a beautiful purple design there, which looks fairly nice itself. Massive two hard shell box. The cards themselves tied up closely. In terms of they come plain edged, so anyone, what I'm going to do is edge mine like I did with the last one. I don't know about the quality. Sometimes with Hay House, depending on the cut, it can be good. Other times it's a hit and miss, so that's probably something you're gonna have to watch out for, particularly with this deck. You'll see as we go through the video my stock quality, but in comparison to the last one, so the one in blue there is the last Toro deck that he did. Compared to the new one here, you could see in terms of the sizes, it's practically identical. It's almost exactly the same. Card quality, thinness, it's pretty much exactly the same as the old one. Somewhat the quality I feel is a lot better, just slightly, on the old deck. As you could see, where I've edged it, I'm gonna do the same here for this one. The design, this is the what it looks like at the back. I'm not particularly a fan of the design here at the back of the card. I don't really like it. Um, Again, it looks, I don't know, it looks plain and the quality is not so great. It's a matte finish and a close-up look, and you can see it here, so it's great. You're not going to get a lot of reflection. And you got the design there. And again, if you could see that, that little dot there is the way the card came, so that's the overall quality. I'm not really that disappointed because I tend to tailor and customize my cards, so to me it's something that I can easily fix. The front of the cards design wise, I think the artistry work is very nice. It's quite vibrant as well, sort of toned down vibrancy, but you can tell when we go through each cards, you'll just see how very vibrant it is. So again, like I was saying, the quality of the stock, I don't know. You could see here, um, this is 2 days after I got the deck, how some cards are not great. Again, it's probably something that you guys are gonna have to watch out from, or where you get your deck from. Most likely will be on Amazon once it comes out next week or so. So to watch out for that. But I think for me personally, I don't like um the design at the back, and the quality as well. Like I said, I tailor my cards, so I'm gonna trim it down slightly and kind of fix all of these things, but not everyone can do that. Um, but that would be kind of like the only negative. Everything else, I think, in terms of the design, is it's not so bad. Like I said, it's quite a very vibrant card. Um, Closer you look at the design, it's, yeah, it's okay. Quality issues, maybe something to look out for. But yeah, so that's the only negative, if I'm honest. So stock quality, if you're comparing it to the old one here, I think the old one was pretty good. I don't know, maybe I got lucky and I got one of those great cuts. The new one, mm, I feel personally it's gone down slightly, but not so much. It's close enough to the old one, but I think you kind of got to be careful. Like I said, when I had these for just 2 days, um, using them just a little bit, you got to kind of like be cautious, and you could tell the old one I think was a lot better, but it's okay. Not perfect, but it's still kind of good enough. So let's dive deep in. This is our major arcanas. This is what they look like. They have this beautiful purple theme color to them to kind of distinguish them from the other cards. It looks very nice. The card is very multicultural as well. You've got various different characters, and like the last one, they tend to grow or progress through the journey. So, like in the last one, you'll have here like the dreamer, the little girl there. So as you go and progress through, in one of the cards later on, you'll see her growing up or have been developed, guided by an angel. For each of the cards, we'll have the number on top with the keywords of what those cards are, messages are, or the angel's message to you will be highlighted underneath the card. It's very easy, very user friendly, great for beginners, and that's what I love about Radley's work, where um if you're used to a lot of decks that he's done, he goes about and removes all of the harsh or fearful imagery within his decks. Um, and also how, he does a very good job of keeping the accuracy and the very sensitivity of the traditional Ride Awake within the deck still, even though he's removed a lot of these what is considered to be fearful imagery that we would have in some of the decks. And it's something new, something that's developed and more, I guess, as he would put it in a lot of his booklets, more 21st century um, decks. So this is what you are going to get here. So if you're someone who loves your traditional, you may not like this, may not like this at one at all. But if you're someone that, you know, are quite fairly new to the craft, divination itself, then you might actually like this. And it's how can I explain it? It feels like a hybrid of Oracle and Toro. That's the best way I can describe this deck. Similar to the old one. Um, so again, come in with a fresh mind, probably throw almost a lot of the things that you know out, and kind of have it with a brand new perspective. And a lot of people who might find this quite fairly difficult to work with, others will find it quite refreshing. And for me, it works both ways. So that's one thing to kind of make note of. So we've got our major arcanas there. So again, a lot of the cards, still the names are kept intact. A lot of the illustration are, of course, about the guided angels and how they play a role within our journey, our path, and are always there to assist us. But again, it's about us reaching out to them to ask for the help and the assistance that they have to provide. Another thing to note about the cards in this deck, every card will have a short kind of channel messages from our guardian angels within each entry that you'll find within the book. And there's at least kind of like three type of guide words, as you could see in front of the cards. Ending, transformation, freedom, and the next one here with our balance card, got compromise, self control, moderation. The purpose of that, again, I think it's more for beginners, moderate users, is kind of like to help you rather than always head into the book to find out what the meaning is of this card. I love the way it's done because it helps you to examine more in details the imagery of what you have, gives you three good guided wordings of that particular card itself. And from there, normally what you would do is kind of examine the imagery and kind of go into depth and use your intuition to gain a better idea of what is it that you're receiving, what is it that you're feeling from the imagery, and how does that coincide with the free keywords, guided words that's been provided in front of that cards. And then once you've done that kind of exercise, you could go on and open the guidebook and look more into the details. That kind of, it's I like the idea of that, the way it's been set up. And that's what Radley does with most of his deck, especially here with the Toro system. So, as you've seen, the Major Arcana features traditional depictions of guardian angels in their human wing like form. And then when we go through to the Minor Arcana, it's more about using symbols to kind of like let us know that they're there in terms of the white feather, the rays of light, butterflies, and so on. So um for me, I like it. I like them because I've used the old one and I'm used to it. So um I like this one a lot more. Makes more sense. If we move on here, we've got our minor arcanas. We've got the wands here. Again, the artistry work is very nice, and you have the element of that particular suit highlighted with the borders being red, kind of fiery. And again, you could see here with the ace, as I said with the in the beginning, the stories here are kind of interwoven throughout. So it's the person that you see here in the ace is gonna grow up throughout the various different journey, various different difficulties they encounter, they're going to break through. So you've got a variation of story taking place and going on here, and a lot of these characters will be recognizable as they go through that journey and they grow up. And again, you've got various different indications of the guided angels guardian angels making us aware that they are there. So yes, you've got here Four of Wands, prosperity, contentment, celebration. You will look at the image, you will see what that means to you, feel, and then if you look at one of the ones that was glittering bright, that will be an indication of your guardian angels letting you know, I'm here next to you. Again, you look here, centered, brightness, bright light, highlighted all over in each of these particular cards. It's either everywhere or in the background or somewhere by the side, or maybe it's a particular pentacle here. Like you could see the one he's holding, he's not alone. The one that he's holding has his guided angels as his backup with him, with the other ones that's headed towards him, with whatever challenges he has to face. So for each of these suit cards that you're going to look at, there will be a form of indication of your guardian angels letting you know they are there for you. Well, one here quite easy to see. It's behind you, so it's very very nicely done. Um, the other thing that I like about this deck um is how the author has kept the classical structure of Toro. As we can see here, it's easily recognizable, um, even in the court cards, the Page of Fire, Knight of Fire, and so on, King and Queens, and even Aces and so on. They all originally have been consistent and kept, um, both major and the minor as well. And to me, that's quite fairly positive. The change is not as big as one would think, because again, with the minor arcanas, we get our typical, the usual day-to-day reflection of the various aspects of our lives, and with the minor arcanas, it's the all big sort of like massive major life transition taking place. So all of those have been kept intact. um it's just your, as he puts it, the divine language of angels, or from the source, is nicely portrayed in a loving, um approachable manner, one recognizable to literally and to everyone. The image itself, here we've got the Ace of Water. You could see again, you've got the different variation of the element of the water, with the bordered across around the cards. It's, I don't know what it's not completely bordered. Well, it is kind of bordered. It's not a non-borderless card. It's got the colors at the edge, as you can see, various different. It's lighter blue, kind of slightly darker blue there to highlight the water. Um, each card, in terms of the traditional symbolism, the four of water there, you could see, quite very easy to understand. Distraction, self was absorption, discontentment. It's highlighted in the imagery. It looks more, yes, 21st century, which is not a bad thing. And here we go to the five of our waters. We've got the disappointment, regret, forgiveness, and the imagery kind of helps illuminate the meaning, or puts out across what you may be going through. And again, that little hope there of knowing that always your angels are there with you. They never ever leave you. They are always there. Seven of water. I love the way that's done there. Choices, over analyzing, procrastination. And then I love the way you've got the 444 um, as well, on the Eight of Water. Again, cups by the side, uphill journey. The angel seems to be guiding her, searching empowerment, fulfillment. I love the Nine of Water here. Look at that. Dandelions, and you could see here the angels is close by because of that feather there. Bright white feather, as we all know, is an indication that your angel is nearby. We've got our Ten of Water, Page of Water, family, love, and blessing. Again, as you could see, it's been kept intact. It's beautifully illustrated. Artwork is very, very nice. Rainbow and everything. We've got our page, sensitive, open-hearted, and again, that's kind of betrayed back within that character that's been displayed. Our romanticizing knight of water there. That's nicely done. Our king and our queen. Again, the keywords I think goes beautifully with the image that's been illustrated, and there's our queen of water. You got the crown kind of being highlighted there as a badge, and then for the king you've got it there on the tree trunk as well. Very, very nicely done. Beautiful artistry work. We move on into our swords. Our swords again, a different form of the blue color, more like a sky blue. I don't know, maybe it should have been the other way around, but yet we've got snow, a particular season as well being highlighted there. We've got our ace, the angel there, the young guy with his sword. Very nicely done. I like the design work. The artwork I think is very beautiful. The coloring, the way it's been put together, very vibrant. It's, look at that one. I like that one. Two of air, two different paths to choose from. Indecision avoidance. You either take a shortcut or you go the long way. That's very, very nicely done and well thought of. The free of air. Again, it's not as harsh. You got two angels there who has your back and supporting you with a huge amount of disappointment and heartbreak. That's very empowering in a way to look at, versus if you were to look at the traditional three of swords in most of the deck, it's stabbed through the heart being pierced, which is kind of not nice, especially if you're going to do a reading and know, oh my god, yeah, this is how I feel. But that one has a different approach, which is well done. Five of air, chess pieces, mistakes, drama, reassessment. Again, those keywords act as the guidance for you to further examine the imagery of the deck to get a lot more out of it before you jump into the book. Six of air there, relief, hope, and moving on. All of the traditional day-to-day transition is being kept in place. The seven of air, awareness, caution, consequences. Very nice imagery. I think 9 out of 10, I pretty much like almost all of the image. Makes sense to me. Maybe one or two I don't think is all that great. But for me personally, if you haven't noticed yet, I really like this deck. I find it to be very positive. I prefer it to much better to the old one than the other one that he did, where in my review I wasn't so, I don't know, convinced. But in this one, I think it's a perfect match. Nine of air there. You could see the angels in the picture in the background. Still always there. They are always there by our side. Swords in front. The ten of air. Beautiful design. Love the way it's been constructed and put together. So to me, he's done a fantastic job in creating a deck that is easy for everyone. Easy for everyone in terms of understanding the messages, in reading the messages, looking at the imagery itself, to give you a deeper understanding or for you to build up a relationship with your angels. And again, from what I read as well, he kind of created this deck and the design of this deck for highly sensitive people who are seeking comforting and a safe way to get clear kind of guidance for themselves or for others. So a fantastic deck. So I hope you've enjoyed the close look. I'm going to do a flip through and then we're going to have a look at the book. So let's do a flip through of the deck. Okay, so let's have a look at the booklet. There, because it's a big booklet, there is so much information. We start off with the front page, kind of seems to be like a dedication of some sorts, or finally getting around to bringing the creation of this deck together. We've got our contents, as you can see, there is a lot in this booklet. It covers all of the cards, all of the various suits. Each has a particular chapter, so it's very easy to navigate in the guidebook and look for the information that you need. You've got your introductional part. I think I'll leave it here for a few seconds for you guys to pause and read yourself to give you a better understanding from the author what this deck is about. You need more time, like I said, pause it and read it. So we get a good 2.5 pages worth of introduction. So I've kind of positioned it here for you to even read the messages. So that's the full introduction, the first page that I showed you, and here. So like remaining of that pages, I don't think I'll do this for everything, so I'll just do this one little bit. At least you guys know exactly, what am I going to buy, what am I getting here. A note about the card in this deck. Again, he goes around highlighting, you know how this came together, and again the purpose of why he has taken a lot of the fearful stuff from the traditional, from this deck. So as you could see, you get a number of pages of explanation, introductory parts of why he has done what he has done and the reasons behind that, which is quite fairly nice. We got a section here on how to work with the angels themselves, so he kind of breaks down each particular categories of cards, or give you a better understanding, give you that kind of like a starting point as to how to get going and certain things to pick up on and recognize. A little bit of information about your guardian angels. You've got the archetype, archangel types, and then you've got your own guided angels. This, the society of angels is massive. It's vast. So all of that has been explained. Again, preparing you. Again, this is why I say it's kind of maybe tailored to anyone who's a beginner. So it will be a great package in terms of if this is going to be your first Toro deck, and you want the easy way of kind of being introduced into it. You've got your typical regular spreads. You've got a section of the spread, which again is nicely highlighted. You've got the Celtic Cross, you've got the 3 card spread, or you could do a 1 card spread. Everything is kind of nicely explained. We have a section that's called the magical meanings of the cards. I will leave it here again. Pause by all means to just read what it means there. And then you go into the Major Arcanas themselves. Again, you can pause. It's pretty much straightforward. Now when we come to the section of the meanings of each cards, as you could see here, we've got the Dreamer. You will get the number highlighted, the name of the card. You get a general kind of like summary, which is 1 page, and then you've got 2 further message. So here's the card here by the side, the Dreamer card. So which is why it's important to actually, you get those 3 keywords there to kind of allow you to look further in and use your intuition to work with the cards, and then you could come here. So again, I'll leave it here for us a moment. Please pause to read it, so that way you get a understanding. For each cards, you will also have a short angel message, and then you will have an additional message as well. So there's no illustration of that card, which I think they could have added, because there's empty spaces where I think they could have added the imagery in the book. You could see here there's a massive empty space under the magician where they could have fitted the illustration at least. And it's pretty much it's like that for every single cards, including the mine as well. You could see it here, the way it's set up. Massive empty page section of the page. So as you could see, some of the messages will be small, shorter, depending on the card in particular. So again, it's kind of like urging you to use your intuition, to recognize the voices of your angel. It's helping you to build a connection, not with the book, with the deck, with your guide. It goes through for each suits. It will highlight what suit it is. It will give you a brief page worth of what that suit means, what it implies. And then again, as you can see here, quite fairly small, you've got the Ace of Fire, General, a message from your angel. And then you've got an additional meaning, a big blank empty space. And that's pretty much throughout for every single suit cards. Even if it comes to our courts as well, it will pretty much be the same. So it's pretty straightforward, it's easy, there is nothing complicated in the guidebook, neither complicated with the deck itself. So it's an easy Toro that anyone can, made for everyone. At the back, you'll have information about the artist and also the author himself and various different contacts. So there you go, guys. That was the guidebook. Big, fat, chunky guidebook with plenty of information, which is very good. So, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Look out for the next one upcoming. I think there's a lot of decks coming out this year, so I hope you've enjoyed. Love and light to all of you. I personally love this deck. Take care.